So why not sit back, relax and enjoy as we make one final push to...
Wait a minute, this isn't a tier list. I came here for tier lists. Well, yes, we will get to the fabled One Chunk tier list very shortly. But I want to hit you with a few housekeeping elements before we start. So very quickly, number one, Seer Supreme, still going. We're still live. We're still working towards the Beaver Pet. So you can join me on that journey, even though there are no videos coming out just yet, both on Twitch and on YouTube. I will be streaming every Tuesday and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. GMT. And if you're not in the Hannibal Discord, then you can use the link below to get to the Hannibal Discord, where I post on the day of with a little link that goes into your time zone, so you know exactly what time I'll be going live. And that is where this tier list was filmed. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for sticking with me in these big times of no videos. We are on the way to 10,000 subscribers, so please, if you're not subscribed, get down there, click that stupid little red button or black button or whatever color it is on your YouTubes, and help me get there. I really do appreciate it. So let's hope I don't upset anybody. Onto the tier list. When is this happening? I need a time. All right then, the time is right now. Right now. If anyone knows what that is, I appreciate you greatly. You might see some familiar faces on here as well. Here it is. Look at all those people down there at the bottom. So we've got 28 One Chunk series that we're going to be putting into our tier list. 28. I was going to do more. I was going to try and include as many people as possible. However, it didn't quite work that way. So we've gone for 28. So I am going to explain who these people are. You probably know most, if not all of them. I'm going to explain who they are, what their series is, where they started, and what mode they play. And then I'm going to rank them in terms of just feels. You know, just feels, I guess. And what I'm going to do is at the end, I've got a list of honorary mentions who I really wanted to put into this, but it would have got so big and so long that it would have, I would have just been here all night. So without further ado, we should just get started. So I have got, where is it? Here it is. I've got my list here. So what I want to say is that some of these chunk accounts I watched years ago. Some of these chunk accounts are fresh in my mind. Some of these chunk accounts aren't actually doing series anymore. They've stopped for whatever reason. And some people obviously are just kind of important or like big figures in the chunk community. They're not necessarily doing like big series that everybody, you know, it's like massively popular, but they are popular within the One Chunk clan and within the One Chunk community. So there's a bit of a mixture of all different sorts of stuff. Hannibal speedrunning losing friends. No. Okay, let's start. So right at the beginning, we have Honorary. I think everybody knows Honorary. One map square in-game. Starting in Lumbridge as an extreme. You know, the series, to be fair, was very, very good. Why is all my stuff disappearing? There we go. Series was very good. It's very fun, very well edited. Even, you know, straight up with episode 1, very well edited. Hey, Dom. Thank you for the sub.
Dom just subscribed with Prime. I'm happy to see you streaming.
Yes, I very much enjoyed Honorary series. He's obviously gone now, but I don't think has finished. I think he's still working away in the background, hopefully. So very good, very fun. I would say For me personally, I don't think it's S tier. I think it's very good. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's A. I think it's a good, solid chunk series. It's very fun. It's got great editing. It's got great pacing. And there's plenty of it as well. On to the next one. So this is one that some of you may recognise and remember. We aren't just happy, we're happery. Yes, keep the happery jokes going. We love it. Hello, Runar. This is Brewscape. So Brewscape is a Port Sarim chunker, started in Port Sarim, Extreme. The account's called Sailing Chunk. Obviously, Sailing Chunk, the whole intention behind it was to prepare the account for the imminent sailing, which hasn't dropped yet, but when it does, big for the channel. So I really enjoy Brewscape stuff. Again, I think a great voice, good editing, good pacing for the series. I liked the start. I liked the idea behind it. You know, I like the idea of sailing as a concept for a chunker, even though it's, you know, very far in the future. D tier, no sailing witnessed. We could probably put it in D tier. Screw that Brewscape guy with his non-sailing chunk start. I would have said, again, I don't think it's S tier because I'm kind of saving S tier for my personal favourites. But I would say that right. I love Brewscape, great guy, and we went to RuneFest together. But I'm putting him in B tier, and let me explain why I'm putting him in B tier. Because I think the account has got a long way to go in terms of sailing coming out and then Sailing Chunk actually doing what it's supposed to. And that is the only reason why I'm putting it in B tier. So sorry, Brewscape. You're great. But there needs to be sailing. Sailing. So we're gonna do a B tier for good old Sailing Chunk Brewscape. Right. The third one, Camdoozle, who is also Camdoozle in-game and on YouTube, but started in Camdoozle. So Camdoozle is a Supreme Chunker. Okay? So with Supreme Chunkers, instantly I'm like, we're S-tiering. You know? We're S-tiering for the beauty of Supreme Chunkers, because obviously I am a Supreme Chunker, and any other Supreme Chunkers, I'm in for it. However, what I'm going to say is that Camdoozle is obviously just starting out and is doing great work, I think, in terms of editing style and making sure that the series has somewhat of a pacing to it, because Supreme Chunkers, it's very difficult to get the pacing right. However, what I want to see is a lot more videos come out of the grinds, if you get what I mean. And Camdoozle may well be stacking them up, ready to absolutely hammer them out one after another. But what I will say is that I'm going to have to put it in B tier. The bias in me wants to put it in S tier. And I want to say, Camdoozle, thank you for keeping the Supreme flag flying. However, I want to see all of those videos coming out. I want to see the progression. I want to see it all. Oh, look, and here it is. Here's Alien Food turning up after letting me down. F's in the chat. F's in the chat for Alien Food. Make a new F tier for Frey. Well, actually, I was going to... There should be a bin somewhere here where I'll put Frey in. For some reason, this tier list didn't come out with an F when I put it in, so I don't know. And speaking of Frey, look who's up next. It is Frey. It is Canifist Chump himself. We love a bit of Canifist Chump. You know, starting in Canifist, Extreme, been going for a long time. You know, the Chump himself. We had a lot of beef in our series together. It was very fun. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think, when you think about the fact that going for a while, you know what I mean? This chunk account's been going for quite a bit, done loads of crazy stuff, and we've got some really exciting content from Frey. And my personal favourites being him escaping the PKers in the Rev Caves. Golden content. However, if we don't put somebody in D tier, then who are we going to put in D tier? You know what I mean? There's got to be there's got to be someone in there, and we've got to give it to somebody. And I just feel like popular opinion matters in these kind of scenarios. You know what I mean? You can't just take my word for this. You've got to look at the chat sometimes. D because of 1 hour videos. I love the 1 hour videos. I really do love. The more Frey we can get, the better, in my opinion. And even though I'm memeing really hard right now, I'm going to leave Frey in the D tier. But in my heart, Frey is S tier. The man is S tier, okay? You heard it here first. Frey, S tier. The next one, we've got ourselves Chunk Evil with the account Chunk Evil. Chunk Evil it spends a lot of time in our chat. We like Chunk Evil, very fun. Chunk Evil technically started in Lumbridge. Technically. However, because Chunk Evil is using Molly randoms to get around the map, technically the first chunk was Ardy Monastery. Technically. And it's a semi-extreme account, and it's a really interesting concept. It's really fun because, the idea of having to travel around the map using Molly randoms is a really cool and exciting thing. And to be honest, none of this might make sense to you guys the way I'm going to put all this. But I'm going to put Chunk Evil in A tier just because of the uniqueness of the account. All right, then we'll move Frey up to S tier. There we go. Frey's moved to S tier. Sorry. It's gone full Palpatine mode. We'll put Frey in S tier. I love Frey. I think the account is amazing, and I love everything Frey's doing. We're putting him in D tier for the memes, okay? But Chunk Evil, I think it's A. I think the uniqueness of the account gives it that little bit of an extra kick for me, where as long as the, how am I going to phrase this correctly? As long as the long-term goals of the account is exciting, because Molly randoms don't come around all the time, and having that ability to bring more content out is obviously good for YouTubers. So being stuck with I'm going to have to wait for the next Molly random might become a bit of a problem at some point, or you're halfway through a grind and then off you go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's there's a potential for it to go pear-shaped pretty quickly. However, so far, Chunk Evil, well done. Next one, I think I've seen Fnatic here. There's Fnatic. Hello. So we got Chunk Quest. Started in Lumbridge, semi-extreme. Episode 1, I have to say, banger. Absolute banger. Like, obviously the series is great, but what I'm getting at is like up front, first time video comes out, banger. You got that amazing cinematic, which I assume was done in Blender. But like the whole thing was just, it was great. It was a really good like kickoff to a whole account. And I think that even though we're going from Death Chunk to Death Chunk, it seems late on, that first episode for me was great. It was absolutely great. So where are we going to put you, Fnatic? I mean, you did invite me onto the channel to do some cameos. So I think we're going to go with A tier. I think it's a cool concept. I think that the animation and the editing is very good, and I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. So we're going for A tier. Well deserved, I agree. Oh, no, this isn't paid for. This wasn't paid for.
Chunk Quest just
Cut that out.
subscribed with Prime.
Cut that out. No bribe. Cut that out. Thank you, Chunk Quest. Very kind of you. Right, on to the next one. Telecom. Telecom. Telecron? Telecom. Telecom. Anyway, Chunk Volcano. Let's go with that. Chunk Volcano started with 2 chunks cheating. Brimhaven and the volcano together. Extreme 1 chunk, obviously. Look, editing, amazing. Pacing, amazing. Voice, it depends where you come. Like, I'm from the UK, so his voice, I don't like it. Think it's a bit dumb. But other people from around the world like it, so I'm not going to say any more than that. I think it's brilliant. Kind of given up on some grinds, maybe not. Inferno, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Starts with 2 chunks. I don't know. You've got to dock points somewhere. I am doing the Inferno. All right, he's doing the Inferno. Maybe we can bump him up. Maybe we'll bump him up. Maybe it's a B. Because what you're saying is like, is up here in the S, and then you drop him down 1 for the voice, and then you drop him down 1 for doing 2 chunks instead of 1, in a 1 chunk series. And then we were going to say down another 1 for the Inferno, but maybe we can bump him back up 1. Teller's high A. Oh, okay. If you say so, we'll put high A. Yeah, Teller is an A. I think Teller's very good. I jest. I think Teller is very, very good at what he does. He stresses a bit too much about what he does, but everything he puts out is quality. So I think Teller should stop stressing about it and just do what he's good at, which is making YouTube videos, putting them out for the world to see. Well done, Teller. Although you're not joining us on our games night, so I might have to pump you down again. Might have to pump you down another 1. You know what? I'm going to put Teller in S tier. I changed my mind. You know what? If we don't talk about the other series, because he's just done this 1 for the Chunk series. Hey, Big Jim. Thank you for the follow. I think Teller does great series, and he is starting to finish them, which is perfect, because that's what we, inevitably we want from him, is to finish the series that he starts. And the fact that he's started in such a difficult chunk and he's planning on going for it, I think that's worth it for me. S tier isn't bad. He's only existed for about 4 minutes. He's not. He's got some videos out there now. This is the Chunk series list, not a creator list. Oh, okay, fine. There you go. Freya's spoken. We'll put him down to A. Right, the next one. Our good friend, Chunk 5 Arim. Who remembers Chunk 5 Arim? What a guy. Ordo on the YouTubes. Started in Port Sarim. Extreme chunker. Lovely guy. Series was very good. Very entertaining. Great voice. I like the voice. It's kind of quite soft-spoken, which I like. And I would have said A tier. I absolutely would have said A tier for 5 Arim. But then he changed his name. And I'm going to have to put him in B tier. We all miss 5 Arim. We all miss 5 Arim, but we're never getting it back. And seeing as we're not getting it back, B tier. B tier for Ordo. And if Ordo is going to see this, I want Ordo to know, bring back 5 Arim and I'll bump you up. But for now, there you go. You're sticking with your B tier. What did he name change to? He name changed to Chunky Sarim. Is it Chunky Sarim? Yeah, Chunky Sarim, right? Hold on. I've probably got him still on here somewhere. Yes, Chunky Sarim. He changed to Chunky Sarim. Sadness. Sadness in shoes. The actual, the whole series was great. Really enjoyable. Seeing him try and get out of Fort Sarim with all the stuff he had to do, not having a bank and all that kind of stuff. Amazing. Then he changed his name from Chunk 5 Arim to Chunky Sarim. Straight down to B tier. Get out of here. I'm not taking any more of it. Right, now we're on to an interesting one. I don't know if you recognise this beautiful face here, but this is Skeldor with Chunk Valir. And he started in Barbarian Village, Extreme account. Such a good series. Such a good series. Like, 10 out of 10. Editing. He's incredibly funny. Incredibly funny guy. Out of this world. And, and I'm not... Whoa.
Geldor's just subscribed with Prime.
Whoa. We're not paying for places. All right? Whoa. We're not taking bribes today. And if you ask me purely on the editing of the series, the pacing, the comedy value, it's S tier. But he only uploaded once every quarter at that point. It was every 3 months. Every 4 months, maybe. Sometimes he got to once every 6 months. But now he hasn't posted in a long time. So, series are great and all, but you've got to post. And I don't mind if you go 2 to 3 months in between posting videos. That doesn't bother me. But 6 months to 12 months, I don't know. We have to dock some points for that. Have to dock some serious points for that. So where do we put Skeldor then? I think D tier is valid for the upload rate. You got it. Skeldor has spoken. I'm only okay with Supreme not posting for 6 months. Look, we're not talking about me, okay? We're talking about these creators on the screen. Don't bring me into this. Skeldor is in the D tier. Doesn't post enough. And what will happen is I'll revise this tier list when Chunk Valir comes back. Which could be any second now. If Skeldor uploaded once a month, he'd be S plus tier. True. Very, very true. Very true. We've got Quad next. Quadruple D. Does anybody know Quadruple D? Chunk Wellard. Started in Ardy Market as an extreme. If you haven't seen the series, I'd recommend it. Very good. Not as much content as I would have liked, but it's very good. Editing is very good. Pacing very good as well. I like the pacing. I just think we just need more. We just need more of it. It needs to just come out more. And for that, I'm gonna have to put him in B tier with the odds. With Chunk 5 Arim. But genuinely, I think very good series. I enjoy it a lot. And I think that once we get more and more content, it's just going to get better and better. It's going to fly up there. I think it's just great. So I want Quad to keep it up. Keep bringing out the content. I will link all of these for you, so you've got them. So don't worry about that. Right, here we go. We've got ourselves Chunk Yanil. Good old Josh isn't on the YouTubes. Started in Yanil. 2 chunks. 2 chunks again. 2 chunks. Disappointing. Not only that, but semi-extreme as well. Semi-extreme. Chop tree, idiot. I am chopping tree, Runar. See, 2 chunks is already bad enough. But then semi-extreme, even worse. And then just trying to get out of every grind he can even imagine. The disappointment is unimaginable. Is actually unimaginable. I can't believe it. Hey, Blue, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, Blue. Look, I don't want to get into it, but you know, the getting out of the grinds thing, the 2 chunks, all of this stuff is wild. It's absolutely wild. But what I will say is that that's all a joke, because this man is out of this world. Absolutely out of this world. The storytelling, the music that he produces, all of it himself. The story's just so good. The editing is brilliant. It's just, I just can't even. Josh is unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable as a creator. I agree. 10 out of 10. You can't get better than it. You really can't. People wouldn't like me if I did the same list. I don't think people are going to like me for this list either. Look, I think with Josh, it's just the talent, just the pure, unadulterated talent. Makes his own music, does all his own editing, makes all of his own thumbnails. You know, he does the whole thing all on his own, and it's beautiful. It really is just beautiful. Oh, and Josh is here. Hello, Josh. Welcome in, buddy. Maybe I shouldn't have gushed like that while you were here. Maybe I should wait until you were not watching. Yeah, why the hell is Frey in S? I would rank people based on the rules of the modes for the most part. True. Yeah, true. So I'd be in D tier with all the other supreme losers. If pacing is a category, agree. Agree. Like, Josh's pacing is so on point. It's just so on point. You could watch a 40-minute Josh video and not even realize 40 minutes has gone by. My only real complaint about Josh is that I don't know when his rules apply and when they don't, but the videos are so quality it doesn't matter. Ooh, burn. Burn. I actually rank you pretty high. An A tier? Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I don't know why you'd put me in A tier when there's so many other people, but I'll take it. And I'm putting it on my CV. Hey, Des Cuddlebat. It's a very nice name. Welcome in. Lovely to see you. Bro, you 6 mil woodcut XP and haven't busted out. That's true. That's true. I am still going. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, Shackle. Nice to see you. Welcome in. I see why you're giving me A tier, because the next person on the list... Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought that this was all, it was all true. I thought it was all true, but here we are. Right. The big man. What do we think? I want to get everyone's opinions first. S++, S tier, S tier. Above Frey, I can put it in front of Frey. I just don't think we need to say any more, really. It's one of the greats. Like, genuinely one of the greats. It's not so much about who started what first. It's just about the sheer quality of the content. Going for so long and still being like, I was about to say supremely relevant, but what I'll say is extremely relevant. But hold on. I've just realised it's getting quite dark in here. Look at that. Yeah. Verf, one chunk goat. Just unbelievable. Again, I go back to storytelling, all the narrative, everything, the editing. You know, when you watch videos like Verf's, like Josh's, where you're watching for 40 minutes sometimes, 50 minutes, and it just goes by in a flash. I think there's nothing more you can say about a series when you get to that point. You're just like, this is incredible. This is going to be remembered for a long, long time. And you can talk to anybody in the One Chunk chat, in the One Chunk community, people who watch One Chunk content. If you say, tell me one of the best series you've ever watched, Verf's name is going to come up, I guarantee you, 95% of the time. Just unbelievable. S tier all the way. Absolutely guaranteed. Whereas everyone after knew there was some kind of level of success attached. Look, I think just unbelievable. Just actually unbelievable. I have nothing. There's nothing more to say. Just absolutely unbelievable. So for fear of gushing even further, we're going to move on to Mark. Mark RS. Chunky Thorpe. Started in Burthorpe as an extreme. I think having a chunk account that starts with so many capes around them is such a brave start. Like, it's such a brave start. You know, you got the strength cape, the attack cape, the herblore cape. There's just so much stuff around you. It's brave. It's very brave. And I think the way that Mark went about it with all the flinching and all this kind of stuff, I think it was just really good. And the series, it went on for ages before he had to, obviously slow down a bit and do this, that, and the other. But I just think it was quality work. It's quality work. And you saw, it's something that I really like about, because people like Verf and Frey and all these other, like Telecon, all these other people that start their chunk accounts and they've had experience in making videos before. You kind of see a jump and then that jump just kind of continues up. Whereas people like Mark, for example, starting off first video they've ever made and then seeing the progression through that series of, this is my first ever video and this is now where we are. I like to see that progression, and Mark had that very clear first video, and then it kept getting better and better and better and better and better. Beautiful. So I think I'd put Mark in the A tier. I think I thoroughly enjoyed the start. I thoroughly enjoyed the sticking to the rules. I thoroughly enjoyed the braveness of having all that crazy stuff around him and just going, you know what, I'm still going to do it anyway and see how it goes. So, absolute A tier. Well done to Mark RS. Right. Cox Chunk. Agile Tom. Starting in the self-proclaimed hardest chunk there is. Not sure if that's the case, but maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Starting at the Chambers of Xeric as an extreme account. Now that is talking of brave, starting at the Chambers of Xeric. Like, I'm crap at PVM. I'm crap at raids. I'm crap at it all. I chop trees. 60 million woodcut XP, that's a piece of cake compared to, trying to complete 2,000 challenge mode chambers. I don't think I'd have been able to do it personally. And if I had done it, it would have taken a lot longer than he has. So I can't think of a world where it's not S tier. Like, just, yeah, like 95 fletching, just with dead trees, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. However, he has 5 beavers, which honestly should put him in D tier automatically, because that's an affront to me personally. Like, how has this man got 5 beavers and I haven't got 1 yet? Ridiculous. Jagex, get on it, please. However, having said that, with the 5 beavers to one side, quality storytelling, the editing just got better and better and better throughout the whole series. He stuck to the grinds. He could have easily quit at any point on all of the stuff that he was doing, but he didn't. He stuck to it. And here we are 2 years later, and he rolls a new chunk. And then he makes the chunk rolls look like a penis. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want? That's cinema. That is absolute cinema. Cox chunk doing Cox rolls chunks to look like Cox. I mean, what more do you want? That is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Well done to Cox Chunk, Agile Tom, for rolling new chunks finally after 2 years. Amazing. He had 2 what are they called? Why's my mind gone blank? He had 2 articles written about him. He didn't know about them, but 2 articles written about him. He had thousands of people watching him do his chunk roll. He got multiple new subscribers, and he's got like plus 70 people now watching him on Twitch at once. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Right, this is one that people might not know. Viewers of my series might know who this is. He got like 5k new subs, really deserved. Absolutely. That is wild. 5k new subs is wild. And now he is on a big new death chunk, but So this is Cozy Boy 001. It's Dr. Pepper 700 in game. Started at Catherby. Started as a vanilla account. I can't describe. Okay, this chunk account was the inspiration behind me using lo-fi hip hop in my series. I watched Cozy Boy do his Catherby start, and he had he'd do these like breaks in his series where the video would be him doing all of his skill and stuff, and then there's a break, and then he'd have like a little musical section where he put a song in that he really enjoyed, and he was just like, listen to this song. And I was just like, it's so good. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So that inspired me to start using music in my series and use the lo-fi hip hop. So I have a lot of love for Cozy Boy and Cozy Boy's series. Unfortunately, he hasn't released an episode in a long time. I think he's got a lot of in real life stuff going on. But I would love to see a return of Dr. Pepper 700. Like 100%. What a good series. I'm going to put it in A tier because the series was very good. He did a lot of grinds. To get out of Catherby, he had to get all the big fish, and he had to get really high fletching and all sorts, and he did it all, and he got to move on quite a bit. But the music was just so good. Music was goated there. Exactly. So if anyone hasn't seen Cozy Boy's series and you kind of like the vibes of my series, go watch Cozy Boy's series because it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right. Buzz RS. The daddy. The absolute daddy. Falla daddy. I can't. Just unbelievable. That human being is wild. Like, genuinely wild. I just can't. He's so wild. The grinds that man does is just ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that he was like, you know what? This extreme lark, it's a bit easy, you know? I need to make this extreme thing a bit harder. So he makes up his own rule set for Supreme, which just takes it to that. Just unbelievable. And I can't be a Supreme chunker myself and not put Buzz, the Supreme Overlord, the Supreme King, in the S tier. Because, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Buzz, genuinely, Cozy Boy inspired me to do the music in my videos, but Buzz inspired me to do Supreme. Because when I saw Buzz, his channel and his series, it was already a few episodes in, and having that first episode of just seeing him get so many levels, he's got 120 million woodcutting XP. 120 million. I just can't. That man is crazy. He does some really wild stuff. Oh, big love for Buzz. Big love for Buzz in the series. He didn't do Farming Pet, but the rest in terms of grinds has been in the top of chunk accounts. Absolutely. And, to be fair to him, he did get 120 million woodcutting XP to get to 88 farming. So I think, for me personally, I'd be like, you know what? You don't have to get Tangle mate. You did your time. You really, really did your time. Like, absolutely. What a guy. Okay, next one on the list. Many of you that aren't in the One Chunk clan won't know who this is. And I'm going to butcher his name again because I always butcher his name. So I'm just going to say it how I read it. And for people who know how it's said correctly, please say it correctly. But this is Maka. It's not right. That's not right. But it's Maka. Maka did exactly what Limpwort did, what Buzz did, and now he's done it himself. He's created his own tier of one chunking called Insane One Chunking. Now, Maka is very big in the one chunk community. He's there all the time. He's doing good work all the time, and he's a great laugh, and he's a good lad. And I really enjoyed his series. He did a league series as well, which I really enjoyed. It was like a 3-hour long video of him just doing leagues. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a lot of people's thing, but for me, I have a lot of time for Maka. A lot of time. The thing that annoys me the most about him and his series is that he chose this insane one chunk. Like, he does everything. There's nothing too small for Maka. If it's in his chunk, he's going to do it. Regardless, he'll get all of the implin drops. He'll, buy everything from all the shops. He'll do the highest level of the highest skill on the highest thing. He'll get all the clue drops and just endless stuff. Hey, Captain, thanks for the sub. Lovely to see you.
Captain Kinskjeg just subscribed for 3 months. Hannibal rank number 1 easy.
Rank number 1. I don't know about that. But the fact that he started... Look, he chose an insane thing, and he said this is going to be the most insane thing ever, and then he started in Castle Wars. So he didn't have to do anything different to anybody else. He started in Castle Wars. But then after he finished Castle Wars and he got out, then it started to really ramp up, and it was crazy. So I'm going to give good old Maka a B tier, because even though I love the guy dearly, and he's done some great work, starting in Castle Wars as an insane chunker, it's just silly. Just very, very silly. And the faces that everyone's pulling in the chat, that is a classic Maka-ism. We've got Plague Chunk up next, but for some reason in my list, Plague Chunk is after Limpwort, so I don't know why that's happening. But Ganked, where are you, Ganked? Show yourself. Plague Chunk. So Plague Chunk started in West Ardee, obviously. I mean, you kind of got it from the name and the picture. Obviously started as extreme one chunker. It's just the voice, Plague, the voice. It just sells everything for me. It just sells the whole thing. Like, the series is amazing. The editing is wicked. The pacing's really good. We want more videos, obviously. Please give us more videos. But the voice just really sends it. I just think sometimes you can have a really cool concept. You can edit things super well and have it look really cool. But if you don't have the right voice for it, sometimes it makes it drop a little bit. And I think that's also true for the opposite, where things might not be edited supremely like Josh perfection levels, but the voice really just lifts it up, just proper lifts it up. And I just think that, beautiful, just beautiful. Plague, just keep it up. Just really keep it up. And obviously now Plague's doing cameos with people, which I'm loving as well. Just amazing. Just keep it up, really. So I'm going to put Plague in A tier. I think coming out of the gates as well as you have done, the first video or two, you were flying. So just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, okay. The GOAT. The greatest of all time. I think there's quite a few people you could put in a GOAT tier. And I think essentially S is the GOAT tier minus Frey. But it's just amazing. Just amazing. It just created a whole... It's just a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, you've got Alex creating it initially. Amazing. That the thought of coming up with that one chunk at a time concept is just beyond measure. It set off an entire community. And if I could put Alex in here, I would have put a new tier at the top just to put Alex in it for setting it all off. But for then Limpwork to smash that into the mainstream, just throw it out there and just go, you know what? We're going to make this harder. We're going to make this cooler. And we're going to sell this concept to literally so many people. I think it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Like, Limpwork really paved the way for most of us to do what we're doing. And obviously I'm putting Verf in that same bracket, but we've already talked about Verf and I don't want to glaze too much more. But, it paved the way for a lot of us to do what we are doing now. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the grinds, oh my God, some of these, get your voices out of my songs, please. Sorry. The fact that the grinds that man has done, it's just wild. Just absolutely wild. The bagged plank grind was crazy. Like, absolutely crazy. The KQ grind was miserable. Absolutely miserable. And the fact that he had the bloody pet that whole time, never forgiven. Never forgiven. The giant mole thing, just unbelievable. But what I will say, the first ever chunk account that I watched was not Limpwork. Limpwork was not my first chunk account that I watched. My first chunk account that I watched was Verf. And that's actually what got me into one chunk in the first place, was Verf. But I found Limpwork through Verf. And it's just wicked. Just absolutely wicked. His early videos are a bit rough. They are very rough. But he managed to retain the audience. He managed to keep people interested without having the supreme editing skills and the pacing and the storytelling. He didn't need any of that. He just needed his dedication to the grind. That's all he needed. And it kept people entertained. And the fact that kept steamrolling and picking up speed into this like mammoth thing that he has now. Just quality work, absolute S tier. Limpwort is crazy, absolutely crazy. Got a lot of people saying Slay Brother. Oh, Slay Brother, damn it, I forgot Slay Brother completely. I'm going to have to apologise. I'm going to do some honorary mentions at the end, but I need to apologise because there's a lot of people that I've missed off this list. I completely forgot about Slay Brother. Yeah, Alex, Limpwort, Slay Brother, Josh. I did forget Implin Only as well, but Implin Only is on my honorary mentions. Blue, sorry. I'm going to read out a list of honorary mentions, and everybody else that I haven't mentioned in those mentions should also get a mention. Right, the next one on the list is Clubs. Clubs RS, starting in Prifdinus as an extreme one chunk. Like, what a guy. Like, what a guy. The dedication to go... The dedication to go for Prif as your starting chunk is just crazy. Because not only do you have to do a lot of work to get there, but once you get there, you still have to do a lot of work. Because you're in Prif. Like, you've got Gauntlet, you've got Zolcano, you've got that massive agility grind, there's just so much stuff there. It was just so good. However, Mr. Prif, Mr. Clubs, I've never been sold on the idea of Prif as a one chunk because you have to get so much. You have to get so many levels to get there. That's the problem. Like, you already have to do half the work to actually get to that point, which is the thing that never really sold me on the idea of it. However, Clubs sold me on the idea of it when he got there. And the fact that he did this is me working towards the first chunk, and then here's the first chunk. I liked that as well, because you at least got to keep up to date with how he got there and what he did. So I'm going to give it B tier, because the editing and the content of the series is A tier, but with my own prejudices with the four chunks and all of the requirements you have to get, it just never sat quite right with me. But to Clubs, to his praise, he sold me on the idea, and I really enjoyed the series. If you haven't seen Clubs' Prif series, go watch it, because one of the later videos he did, it absolutely popped off, and it was amazing. Well edited, very good story. It was really well paced, and I just can't. It's just so good. It's just so good. But I'm prejudices against all the requirements. I didn't like that. Right, Lunatar. Could you place Limpwort all the way to the left? I can place Limpwort all the way to the left. Absolutely. I mean, I can move this around a bit. You put Frey there. I'm gonna put Buzz there. That looks about right. Yeah. Frey's basically like an A plus S minus, right? That's what we're saying. Lunatar has been sat here very patiently, waiting for this moment. Beautiful. Beautiful. Relica, as in the account name, starting in Relica, as in the place. As an extreme, again, another one of the accounts where out of the gate, it just went off straight out of the gate. It was amazing. It was well put together. It was well edited. The story was really good. And the fact that it's another, the voice, again, I've got to go back to this again, all right? Just bear with me, all right? The voice, in my opinion, is probably the best voice in the One Chunk community. And I don't want that to be offensive to any of the other One Chunkers, because I like everybody's voice, which is why I watch the videos. But Lunatar sounds like he's from Relica. Very well put. Very well put. I just think it's high quality. It's got great story. It's got great pacing. The voice adds a lot to it. The starting chunk was very original from what I remember. I don't really remember too many Relica starts. And I really liked the idea of starting in Relica and then all of a sudden you've just got all of these islands that just appear. And you're just like, you can now do, you know, you could go and do Dagonoth Kings. You could be at Vorkath. You could be going off and doing Basilisks. And, you know, it's got all this, you know, it's got all this stuff around it. I think I'm going to have to put him in S tier. I'd considered A tier, but no, I think it sneaks into S tier. I think it does sneak into S tier because it's now a long running series, and he's done a lot of crazy grinds with the blast furnace and all this kind of stuff. So I think the more you think about it, the more that it starts to fall into the category with everyone else in the S tier. You know, long running, big grinds, lots of excitement, great storytelling, and you know, all that kind of stuff. I did have to do a double take when I saw the face cam of Lunatar for the first time. Did not match in my mind. Yeah, it's great voice. Absolutely great voice. Right, look who we've got here. Look who we've got here. Spoon. Where is Spoon? Oh, sorry. Sorry, apologies. Apologies, there we go. Spoon. Is Spoon still here? Starting in Varlamore, Fortis West Bank as an extreme. It's just, again, another one of those ones that it just seemed to capture the community. Like Spoon, I didn't know about Spoon for a long time until everybody in the clan chat was talking about Spoon. And it's just being able to capture the chunk community in a way where I don't think he's got that many videos out total, but he managed to capture the whole community together with those small amount of videos. And I think that's a very hard thing to do. Like, it takes something very specific to get you, you know, well known within the chunk community. And I think it's so well done that he's managed to do that. That, you know, second to the series and what, you know, the time and effort he puts into the series, I think that is a really cool thing that you have to talk about, and you have to say that it was a feat of its own. And people still talk about Spoon in the clan chat to this date. So I'm going to put Spoon in. No, I think, to be fair, no offense to Spoon, I should put you in the B tier. And that's not to say that I don't think you're amazing, because I think you are. And I think you need to make more videos. But I've been making comments about people not making enough videos and etc., etc. So I think I've got to do that. But there's so many, you've been doing so many crazy grinds, to be fair. But I think it's a quality series. And again, I think everyone, the fact that you're on this list should say enough. D until I finish Colosseum. Very true. Very true. Right, we're going to start with another one here. Shifty Chunks. Starting in Lumbridge, has an hour to spend in the chunk before he then has to shift chunks. So, I thought the idea was very cool. I thought the idea of you spend 1 hour in one chunk, do as much as you can, and then you have to shift to a new chunk. and until you've completed everything in the chunk, you can't tick it off. So then obviously you can come back to chunks later on. I think it was a great idea. And I think execution-wise, very good. But there's a lot of videos. I think there's a bit of oversaturation of videos, but I do think the videos that he makes are very well put together. And I think they are. It's a very good story that's developing. Also, I don't like seasons. He's done seasons. I don't like seasons. I don't know why I don't like seasons. Hold on, I'm going to need to bank. But I think very good, very good. And I would suggest to watch Shifty Chunks if you want something that's slightly different. Because it's still one chunking, you know, still an extreme chunker, still has to do everything an extreme chunker would do, but has only got an hour time limit per chunk, which means he's able to do these really fast-paced stuff, which is great. And I think YouTube kind of laps some of that up. But I think if he made more concentrated videos where they're a bit longer, he might be able to put a bit more storytelling into it, which might push it a bit further, and, you know, just make it into something that is like super interesting to watch rather than just being interesting to watch. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking B tier. We haven't put anyone in C tier yet. Maybe I should put Shifty in C tier just for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and as Skeldor said, if we're going by golf rules, I don't know. I think it's in between C and B. Like, very much good videos, great idea behind the series. C, but it'll shift to B in an hour. Exactly. Very good. Very good. Mickaroo started very close to me, which I appreciate because not many people have done that. Sir Camelot in game started in Camelot as an extreme. You know, this guy is massive in the RS3 community, absolutely massive. And the fact that he managed to move across from RS3 into Old School and still be able to keep up the numbers, crazy, absolutely crazy. And he's just reached 100,000 subscribers. Absolute top class work. And even though now he's kind of slowed down on uploads because of the grinds that he's currently doing, he has put out very consistent, very well edited, very kind of story driven content, which I think is very, very cool. And I think that starting in Camelot was a new thing. You know, no one has started in Camelot that I'd seen. And the fact that he made quite a lot of progression pretty quickly was very good. He had a lot of big grinds that he had to do as well. You know, he had the stone, and he's now doing smithing and all this kind of stuff. So he is up there with the grinders. Like, he really is up there with the grinders. So I think I'm gonna have to put him in S tier. I think I have to put him in S tier because it's just top quality content. You know, the editing is so well done. It just really is so well done. And the fact that he puts all that time and effort and love into the videos, I think it really shows. And to be honest, I'd like to put everyone in S tier, but I've got to be fair. You know, I've got to be very fair. But I think S tier. I think it has to be. Just like another one of those series that I can easily just sit and watch and enjoy. Right, we've only got a few more left now. We've been doing this for quite a while. We've been doing this for over an hour now. We've got our good friend Foley. Skimmy Extreme started in the Hunters Guild. Is an Extreme 1 chunk. I think, again, Foley is another one of those people, I think exactly like Spoon, where very quickly people in the 1 chunk community knew who he was. Sorry, Semi-Extreme. My apologies. Knew who he was, knew about the grinds that he was doing, and the grinds were just painful. Some of those grinds were really painful. And I think, again, another one of those ones where more videos would be better, because we want to see progression. We want to see where Filet can go with what he's doing. But I think it's great work from Filet. And I think it's, again, great work to be able to capture all of the chunk community in the way that him and Spoon and all these people have managed to do. I think it's good. It's really good. So I'm going to put him right next to good old Spoony Boy, side by side, brothers in arms. And I think, again, as we kind of as he makes more videos and he puts more time and effort into what he's doing, I think you're going to see the same thing as Mark, where first videos are a bit, they're good and you get the concept, but you know that it's going to go somewhere, and then it does. And I put me in that exact same thing. My first video was pants, absolute pants. But then over time, it got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And now I'm about D plus C minus. Yeah. Source Chunk. So Source Chunk has a series. I don't know if anybody knows that Source Chunk has a series, but he has a vanilla series. Quite a long running vanilla series, actually. But one of the reasons why I wanted to include Source Chunk in this, on top of the fact that he has an actual series, is the fact that he created the chunk picker, which made everybody's lives so much easier. Like, without Source Chunk, I think all of the stuff we do would be such a pain in the arse. Like, you'd have to sit there and figure it out, and it just takes so long, and it'd be such a mess. And people, you'd be uploading videos where it's like, these are the chunk tasks I've got, and then people would be like, no, that's not right. You've missed this and you've missed that, and it'd be a garbage mess. But the fact that he's managed to, pretty much on his own, from what I understand, put together this whole website that does all of the thinking for you. All you have to do is go click, and that's it. It does it all for you. I think I'm agreeing with a lot of people in the chat. Put him left of Limpwort, because even though Limpwort really paved the way for a lot of people, Source Chunk provided all of the things that you would need to pave the way. So I supported Source Chunk on Patreon for the longest time because he's done so much for the community, and the fact that he manages the One Chunk clan, he manages the One Chunk Discord, he manages the chunk picker. Just amazing, absolutely amazing. And Nantuko, I think that is absolutely spot on. Source made Chunkman watchable and followable. Completely agree. It gives you a really easy to use thing that you don't even have to have a series. You don't even have to know what you're doing. You just go on the website and it step by step takes you through how to set it up, what the rules mean, what you need to do. And it rolls chunks for you. Like, everybody that rolls chunks uses Source Chunk's roll thing. The fancy rolling where it scrolls and then it goes, pa! I don't know what that looks like, obviously. I'm still at my first chunk. But yeah, I think S tier for sure. For sure. Extreme Gnome. Again, another one of these people that does so much for the chunk community. Like, so much. So, Extreme Gnome with an E, but then the account, Extreme Gnome without the E. Started in the Grand Tree, obviously, as a gnome. Doing an Extreme account. Long-running series. Made a lot of progress. Done a lot of cool stuff. A lot of crazy grinds. He's got a great voice. He does really good storytelling. His editing is getting better and better all the time. Like, he puts so much effort outside to make his videos really good. 32,000 laps on the gnome course is crazy. Like, just crazy. And the fact that not only does he do that, but every single one of these people on this list has been documented by Extreme Gnome and put into a spreadsheet so that anybody who's in the Chunk chat or in the Chunk Discord that goes, I need a new series to watch, you just get pushed onto this Extreme Gnome list, and it's got everybody there, and he keeps it up to date, and he makes it better and better. And recently, he made us that monster finder, whatever it was called, game for us to play, which was really cool. It was really cool. And he said he's going to make that better and better as well. Gnome gets extra points for being a cool surfer dude. And he does, he has his own book series that he does. He's just a talented guy, really talented guy. And he does put a lot of time and effort into his series. Now, I'm going to be a bit controversial here, because I know people are saying S tier, but I think I'm going to put him in A tier. And I think he's up there with the most attractive chunkers. I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. I think the reason why I'm going to put him in A tier specifically is because there's so much more that he can do, and I'm so excited to see the more stuff that he will do. And if I put him in S tier, that's saying that he has reached his limit, and I don't think he has. I think he's got a lot more to offer. And I think once he stops traveling the world like a cool guy, going outside and touching grass, like, what? But no, I won't put him at the bottom of A. I think I'd put him at the top of A. I forgot that we were ranking these in certain orders. Sorry. I think he's got a lot that he's going to do, which is going to really push him to being amazing, like really amazing. So I'm excited to see that. Right, we're on to the last one. The last one. Zen Chunker. Does anybody know who Zen Chunker is? Because if you don't know who Zen Chunker is, I think that is a crime. I think that is a crime. Because Zen Chunker, started in the Grand Exchange, started as a vanilla account, called Zen Chunker on YouTube and in game. But the thing that Zen Chunker brings to the table is my exact vibe. Like my exact vibe. If you watch my video, you see the chill, lo-fi. It's all kind of, fun and floaty, and it's that, but better. Because Zen Chunker does it better. The vibes of the whole series, and she's got quite a lot of videos now, which is really good because there's a lot of content out there to just vibe with. And I think it would be a crime for me to put Zen Chunker in S tier when I've just put Gnome in A tier. So I'm going to put Zen Chunker in A tier as well. But as my vibe, if I was like, I want to watch a video, the Zen Chunker is probably the video I would watch because it's super chill. Just super, super chill. You could almost put her series and my series side by side and just be like, it's basically the same, but this Zen Chunker is going out and buying McDonald's, and this Hannibal Chunker is the McDonald's we have at home. You know what I mean? We're the same, but I'm the at home crap version, and Zen Chunker's the going out and eating fancy version. I know I use McDonald's as an example. It was a bad example, whatever. So that's my tier list. That is my tier list. I'd probably make a lot of changes to this if you asked me to do it again. Like if you said sit now for the next hour and review this, I guarantee you I would move them all around. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep it as it is. I'm sticking to it. Although I'd probably move Skeletor up to the top, to be honest with you. But you know, can you run through who they are all, please? I joined late, don't recognise all of them. Feel like I missed out on some good content. Well, I'm going to be posting the list. I might post the list on YouTube. Actually, I might do it there. Yeah, why Skeletor D tier? Skeletor asked for D tier. To be fair. Bro just got Skeletor and Frey confused and swapped their ranks. Oh, yeah, sorry. One thing I want to do as well is honorary mentions. So I have a list here that I prepared, and I'm going to read those out. Crack with a K was right at the top. Once I'd finished the list, and today I sat down and I was like, you know what? I feel bad for like missing a load of names out, so I'm going to have a little review of all of my subscriptions and whatever, and I come up with a list. And this list is obviously there's plenty more people I can put on this list, but Crack with a K is at the top because Colosseum, completing the Colosseum at that level was just wild, like absolute wild, just unbelievable. And then I've got Inukes, Ardichunk, great guy. Sometimes he's a bit strange in the One Chunk clan, and he says some out of pocket stuff, but a great guy. Bowser, again, great series, beautiful. Frosty Bard, I mean, come on, just come on, great series, great music. What a guy! Can't believe I missed it. Fun Chunk Man. More so for the fact that Fun Chunk Man is very well known in the Chunk community. Very, very cool. I really enjoy talking to Fun Chunk Man. Fun Chunk Man drops into here every now and again. So I thought that was great. Implin only. What can I say? Just craziness again. Just absolute craziness. The grinding, the idea, amazing. So I am sorry that I missed Implin only out of the list. I've got Volty on the list. Volty was the person that actually invited me into the clan chat. Volty was the first person to come and talk to me in Sears Village when I first started my account. So I give a shout out to Volty as well. Grindyear, you know, another Supreme account, unfortunately no longer with us. Not the actual person, the series. So it's really sad to see Grindyear go, but shout out to Grindyear. Shout out to Armadillo Ninja, another one that started and then faded away to do other stuff. Very sad to see. Piku Fighter, I got Piku in the list. I saw Piku here earlier. Bushy Boy as well. Bushy Boy. Great series. And I did not forget Sakus. I did from the main list, but I remembered Sakus for the honorary mentions. Again, crazy series, crazy grinds, just some of the wildest things you're going to see. Having the whole of the Isle of Souls, there's so many grinds to do on that island as there is, but starting with all of them was wild. You know, doing all of the Soul Wars stuff was just, it was mind-blowing. What Sakus, I don't know if Sakus is still here, finished at what, like, third in the world or something at the end of all of that? Sakus, what was it? What did you finish at in the end? Because it was just wild. Just absolutely wild. Yeah, what was the rank? What was your rank? 2 for hardcore. 2nd in the world for hardcore Iron Man. Wild. Absolutely wild. And there's probably plenty more names that I forgot about. There's probably plenty of series out there that I haven't watched yet and that I just need to get onto it. And I would take this as a time for everybody to suggest to me more series that you would recommend. Say the names of other people you think should have made the list and other people that you would like to have seen included, or people that you want me to watch, want me to check out, because I'm I've got a big backlog of things that I need to watch, but I'm always happy to add people to the backlog. So I will get around to them eventually. And hopefully, this is all for a bit of fun. So hopefully I didn't upset anybody with my rankings here, because generally, if this wasn't just for, a bit of fun, I'd probably put most people in A or S tier, because I think everyone anybody that takes the time to make YouTube videos and put them out to the world, it's a big deal. You're kind of putting yourself out there. You're laying you as a person out on the table and just being like, what do you think? Good? Bad? And you get a lot of people who just like to spread hate online, and they will go to your videos and they will just say hateful stuff. And you don't really get much of that, not to the extent in real life where you've got like thousands of people to you personally and being like, I think you're shit. I don't like that kind of stuff. And the fact that these people are brave enough to put themselves out there like that by making videos, 10 out of 10. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Where Beaver? I don't have Beaver yet. We are trying.